Good morning. My name is Janet. Welcome to Yoga Basics. This is a free community class that I offer every week on Monday morning, and you're welcome to join. Generally, we're going to pick one or two very beginner yoga topics and go over them, teaching you the very basics of how to move and breathe in a safe way while you open your body, become more pliable, more aware, and stronger. Today our class is going to be done in a seated position. So find a comfortable cross-legged position that you can sit in. I like to use a little block to sit on. If you find that you have tight hips or a tight back, it's nice to sit up on something and give a little more space in there. This is called easy pose, where I'm just lining up my legs and sitting any which way and cross-legged. If you prefer to have one leg up, that's okay as well. Some people might be more comfortable with their legs out to the side. This is also okay. From here in your cross-legged position, you're going to rest your hands on your knees and just pull them back just a little bit. The upper arms are loose against the rib cage, so your armpits have a little bit of space to breathe. Oh, hold on, we've got some people coming in here. You need to turn your volume up. There's one person, they cannot hear. So you need to turn the volume up on your computer. All the students are muted so that it makes it easier to cut out the background noise, but turn your volume up. There you go. Okay, let's do this again. You're gonna find your comfortable seat. Have your hands on the knees and then draw your hands back just a little bit, keeping some looseness in the space between your upper arms and your rib cage. Now just settling down a little, get the wiggles out. We're going to start with some breathing awareness. So the first place we're going to breathe is in through the front of your chest. So if it helps you, you can put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Now as you take these next deep breaths, try to keep that belly hand relatively still and keep the action in the chest hand. So let's take 3 deep breaths here. Breathing in and out. That's 1. Breathe into your top hand. 2. And again, 3. That's it. Now the next place we're going to breathe is into our side ribs. So if you can, you're going to reach your hands around your body and loosely hold on to those side ribs. And you're still keeping the shoulders rolling back if possible. Very loosely holding the sides of your ribs. We'll take 3 deep breaths. And again, try to feel the breath moving those hands on the sides. Breathing in and out. That's 1. Do it again. 2. 1 more breath. Breathe into your side ribs. And that's 3. And now we'll breathe into our back ribs. So see if you can feel right around where the shoulder blades are, or imagine the back of the bra strap on your body. And you're going to breathe using the rib cage and apply some pressure to that space. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Breathe into your back rib. 1. Breathe into your back ribs again. 2. And that's 3. On the next 3 breaths, let's breathe into all of those areas together. So you'll try to keep the belly relatively still. Breathe into the front ribs, moving through your side ribs, and then also breathing and applying pressure behind your shoulder blades right around where the bra strap goes. Let's take 3 deep breaths there. 1. 2. 3. Now you might hear some sound as you're breathing, and this is okay. When you breathe with sound, it helps to create some warmth in your body, and this is what we're aiming for as well. So just 1 second. I'm just filming a class here, sweetheart. I need some quiet. Thank you. From here now, we're going to do some gentle moving of the body. Start by moving the head. You're going to look to the right and look to the left. And again, look to the right and look to the left. Bring your head back to center. Now this time, tip your head over to the right. Tip your right ear to your right shoulder. And then left ear to the left shoulder. And again, right ear to the right shoulder. And left ear to the left shoulder. Back to center. There you go. And now let's move through the shoulders. We're going to do some circles with the shoulders. You're going to lift them up toward the ears, roll them back, and then press them down and cave them forward. And again, rolling up to the ears, back, down, and then rolling forward. One more time. Up, back, down, and forward. Let's go the other way. Roll your shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. Last time. Back, up, forward, and down. Excellent. We're going to start with your right arm today. So pick up your right arm, put your left fingertips on the ground, and then slowly lean over to the side. You might apply some extra pressure into that right hip and really reach through the fingertips. I feel this really strongly in through my side ribs and my waist. You might notice that if your back is a curl toward the floor a little bit more, you might feel it more along the spine, and this is okay too. You just want to move in a way that feels good for your body. Now inhale, come back up, and let's switch sides. Bring your right fingertips to the ground. Inhale, reach the left arm up. And then exhale, lean over to the right. Now you might push a little extra pressure into that left leg. And you're leaning over. Reach through those fingertips. And again, you might turn your chest more toward the ground to feel it along the spine. Or you might not. And then come back up to center. And with your hands on your knees, you're going to widen your elbows a little bit and see if you can move just your rib cage. And you're going to lean it over to the right. And back to the middle. And then lean your rib cage over to the left. Whoops, I'm doing opposite. This is my right. And try again the other way. Back to center. Lean to your left. Center again. Lean to your right. Excellent. And from here, let's work on our hands and our wrists a little bit. You start by lacing your fingers together and turn the flats of your palms straight out in front of you. Really press through the roots of the fingers, stretching the fingers back. And then bring the wrists back up and draw some big figure eights with the hands. Slow and steady. And then try to go the other way. It's hard for me to go the other way. Sometimes my brain does half a turn the other way and then just zips back to what it was doing before. This is okay too. All right, you're gonna have your hands at opposite. So one fingertip is toward the opposite palm, shoulders are down, and then just give some gentle pressure here. Switching sides, gentle pressure. There we go. And from here, come up onto your knees. We're going to do a little bit more hand and wrist work, if you can see my face with the incredibly bright light in my kitchen here. You're going to rock forward and back. So you're on your hands and knees. You just rock forward and back, warming up the wrist. And then maybe doing some figure eights with the shoulders, letting those wrists warm up. And then turn one hand back around and turn the other hand back around, forward and back. When you go back here, you might even peel up the heel of the hand a little bit. This is okay too. It puts some more intensity on the fingers and hands. This is okay. There you go. And then from here, you're gonna curl your hands into fists, put the knuckles together, put the back of your hands on the ground with bent arms, and then slowly press to straighten the arms. This one can feel like a lot more intensity. So go nice and slow, doing some little rocking motions or bounces here. Or if this one is too much, then you don't need to do it at all. Excellent. I'm just gonna roll my blinds down. It's almost too bright. There we go. Can you see me better now? Thanks for letting me know that. Okay, and now let's move on to our legs. So sitting back on your bottom, you're gonna bend up your knees to about halfway and then spread them apart, okay? Now from here, lean back on your hands and you're gonna drop both of your knees over to one side. So one leg is internally rotated, the other leg is externally rotated. And then pick the legs up, you're gonna roll them over to the other side. This is called a windshield wiper with the legs. And it feels really nice on my body to get that internal rotation of the legs. It's not an action that we do in our everyday life very often. And flip your legs over to the other side. That's it. One more time each way. You might notice that one of your sides is tighter than the other or has less range of motion. I know for me, it's when my right leg is rolling internally. I'm not sure why, maybe because my right foot is on the gas pedal sometimes when I'm driving. Well, all the time, I guess. All right, you're gonna come back, give your legs a shake. And from here, we're gonna move into an all fours position. So coming up on your hands and knees, you can have your toes turned under if that feels comfortable for you, or point them if that's better too. We're gonna start with some cats and cows. So from here, you can see that my back is relatively straight. From the hips, pretty straight line up toward my shoulders. So I'm not letting my head pull down, nor am I cranking my head and looking up with my chin. So the head is going to be pretty neutral here. Now let's start with the cat. You're going to push into your hands and your knees, round your back, curl your chin in and look toward the belly. And then doing a cow, you drop your rib cage down, lift the chin, and lift your pelvis up toward the ceiling, lifting your tail. And again, this is a cat. Push into your hands and knees, look toward your navel, and then arch your back, coming to there. Excellent. And then back into that neutral space. Let's do some wags. Now, imagine that you had a long tail. And you want to turn, you want to see that tail. So you're going to squinch your hip toward the shoulder and look towards the tail. And then try the other side. Squinch the hip toward the shoulder and look toward the tail. One more time each way. Take a nice look for that tail. You might find one side of your back is tighter than the other. You might want to spend a couple of extra seconds on that tighter side. That's okay. Now from here, come back to sitting on your heels. This is called child's pose. Now, you might want to do this with your knees together. Some people prefer to do it with their legs apart. This is okay too. So in this child's pose, our hands are reaching up over top, and you're going to let your head go down to the ground. Let's take 3 breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Come back up to your knees, turn your toes under. We're going to work towards a downward dog position. So if you know downward dog, feel free to move at your own pace. If you're newer to downward dog, you keep your toes turned under, strong arms. Lift the knees off the ground and then slowly shift your weight back. Then your knees might be really bent here. This is okay. You might like to walk your feet out. This is also totally okay. It's nice to warm up the legs this way. If you feel in your downward dog there's a lot of weight in your hands, try bending your knees and reach back through your hips. This posture eventually feels like a resting posture. In the beginning, like I know my first six months or so, this was a really challenging posture. So if it's challenging for you, don't worry, it's okay. Now from here, let's walk your feet forward. And you're going to let your arms go loose and dangle down from the top of your mat. Maybe swaying from side to side just a little bit. Now, if you have issues with your back, you might want to come up with a flat back here. If your spine is pretty okay, round your back, lift through your lower belly and curl your way up to standing. From here, just give your arms and legs a little shake. There we go. Now, let's move through all of those actions together. We're going to put them together into a slow motion sun salutation. I'm going to do one from the side. If you know sun salutation and you'd like to join in, feel welcome to do that. If you've not seen one before, you might want to watch the first one to see the actions and then join in on the second one. We're going to do 3 of these today, slow and steady. So from standing at the top of your mat, my legs are together here. Your hands are by your side and you're standing up tall through the crown of your head. You're going to take those big deep breaths. Remember, we held our belly still. Breathe through the chest, the ribs, and the back ribs here. So take 3 of those big deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Now for Sun Salutation A, you start by reaching up your hands and then fold forward. Hands down to your legs. Take an inhale, press into your hands and halfway lift. Now from here, we're going to step back into a plank position. There are a couple of options here. A full plank position is where your legs are straight. Knees down is a wonderful option. This is the one I'm going to take today. Oh, here's my orange cat. Come to investigate. Now let's hold this strong plank position for 3 big breaths. So 1, keep breathing. Press into those arms. You're going to engage all the way through the underarm and your armpit. 2, 3. Now on the next action is to bend your elbows and lower down to your belly. From here, put the forearms on the ground. You're going to point your feet and we're going to lift up into a cobra. So pressing into your arms, start by rolling your shoulders back and peel the upper body off the ground. Let's do 3 of these and release back to the floor. Again, inhale up, exhale down. Somebody needs some help. Kitty, no, you can't be here right now. Sorry about that. Come back to your cobra position. Let's do 1 more of these guys. Forearms are on the ground, shoelace side of your foot's on the floor. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, press into your forearms. Now from here, put some pressure into your hands. You're going to come up to all 4. You can choose to settle down into your child's pose. You might also go into your downward dog. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. 1, feel welcome to pedal out those legs. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Walk your feet up towards your hands. Breathing in, halfway lift. Breathe out and fold. Inhale, come up to standing, reach up, and exhale. So if you have any questions about that, feel welcome to send me an email after. Let's do 2 more of these, slow and steady. So standing in equal standing at the top of your mat, your legs are strong, belly is lifted, and work on breathing deeply. Take an inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, step back to your plank option. Hold for 3. 1, strong arms here, 2, and 3, lower down to your belly. Let's do 3 cobras, forearms on the ground. Inhale up, exhale down. Again, inhale up, peel the shoulders back, lift the ribs, and exhale down. And again, inhale up, and exhale. You can go back to child's pose or back to your downward dog. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Breathe as deeply as is comfortable for you. 4 and 5. Walk your feet forward. Inhale, take a breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing, reach up. And exhale again. Let's do 1 more for today. Stand strong, nice and tall. Lift the lower belly. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to your plank. You might choose straight legs. You might choose knees down. Let's stay here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Lower down to your belly. Forearms on the ground. Point the foot so the shoelace part is on the floor. 3 cobras. Inhale up. 1. Exhale down. That's 1. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale down. Place your hands on the floor. Lift back to all 4. Child's pose is an option. Downward dog is another option for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Walk the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing, reach up to the ceiling, and exhale. And that's Sun Salutation A. Sun Salutation A, you can come back down to seated now, is the foundation of postures in yoga traditions. You can practice Sun Salutation A for a long time, increasing the number that you're doing so it builds strength and stamina. It also helps you to build the connection of moving and breathing at the same time. We did 3 sun salutations today, and I think that was enough for a first-time yoga practice. If you're doing these at your home, you could start with 3, and then the next week you could do 4 and 5 and so on, and work your way up to 10. Now we're going to do our 3 finishing postures to close off our practice for today. So if you can, wrap your hands behind your back, hold onto your wrist or maybe your forearms. We're going to do each of these postures for 5 breaths. Take a breath in. As you exhale, fold forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back up to seated. Open up your arms. Oh, pardon me, a frog in my throat. You're gonna bring your first finger and thumb together and then draw your arms back so the shoulders are nice and broad. From here, we'll take 5 deep breaths seated like this. 1. Breathe in all 3 spaces of the ribs. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. This last posture of our finishing postures is a lifting posture. Now your breath might be stronger because this is a physically more demanding posture, and this is okay. If you need to breathe a little stronger to make it through the 5 breaths, don't worry about it. You'll get stronger as the days go by. To do this posture, you're going to cross at your shins, have your hands on the floor, and you're going to try to lift your knees up toward the shoulders. Now you might lean forward and your feet might not go off the ground at all. This is okay. Or if you push really hard, your feet might come up a centimeter. This is okay too. So let's do this one for 5 breaths. Push into the floor with your hands, draw in your belly, and lift your feet up. 1, breathe deeply, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. This last practice that we're going to do is called Shavasana, or sometimes it's called just taking rest. So from here, you're going to lay down on your back, and we'll rest for 2 minutes together. So this posture is done by turning around. I like to put my head at the top of the mat, but that's up to you. You come down onto your back. Sometimes it feels good to have your knees bent here, or if you have a pillow or a bolster that you might put under your knees, that's a nice thing too. Your hands are away from your body. You let go of your deep breathing that we did in practice and return to whatever's natural for you. Let your eyes close if that feels safe for you. Now you can stay here lying down. I'm going to sit up. And keep breathing in and out through the body. With every exhale, soften all the muscles. Release any holding or tension that you might be feeling. Now, if you're comfortable here, you might want to stay. You could turn off the sound of the computer and you could stay here for 10 minutes or maybe 15. If you're ready to come out, take a deep breath in. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reach your arms overhead for a big morning side stretch. And roll onto your side. From here, come back to seated. That's it. Thank you for joining me in yoga today. My name is Janet. I look forward to seeing you again maybe next Monday for another Yoga Basics class, or there are quite a few class options that you can take during the week. The schedule is up on my website at ashtangayogacalgary.com. Ashtanga is spelled A-S-H-T-A-N-G-A, yogacalgary.com. If you have any questions or comments, please feel welcome to email me from there. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me.